You've seen them at the craft store, all those colorful threads with different textures and tones. You're not quite sure what to do with them, but you've got some ideas. Maybe you'll stitch up some song lyrics for the ones you love, or make some home deck items. You could even personalize a bib for baby. If this interests you, keep watching. In this video, we're talking about a few of the supplies to have on hand when you're first getting started with embroidery. Nothing fancy, just the basics. Before we get started, I'm really curious, what are your favorite embroidery supplies? Leave a comment below to share. Are you ready? Great! Up first, needles. In a pack of embroidery needles, there are typically different sizes and thicknesses as well as different lengths. I also use tapestry needles when doing embroidery. Here, I'll show you the difference. The embroidery needle has a sharp tip, which is really great for piercing finely woven fabrics. This tapestry needle has a larger eye, and it's much easier to thread the larger eye of the tapestry needles. Tapestry needles are blunt, which I like as well because you're not as likely to poke your fingers while sewing. If you have a little variety pack, you should be good to go. Now let's talk about fabric. You can embroider on cotton shirting, quilting cotton, maybe do some detail work around an applique on corduroy. I've even embroidered the strap of a purse. And I really do like to embroider on linen since the warp and weft are lined up just so. It's really lovely. You can also teach your kids to embroider as well. Try using a fabric with a looser weave, such as burlap. You'll need some sort of thread for your embroidery, also referred to as floss. There are two common types that you're likely to find at craft stores. 6-stranded floss, like I'm showing you here, has 6 threads that are bundled together. You can separate the 6 threads to produce different thicknesses in your embroidery. Then there's this stuff, pearl cotton. Isn't it beautiful? It reminds me of how plied yarn in knitting produces a really rich and unique texture. These 2 strands are not typically separated. Look closely. You can see how they're plied or twisted together. It's beautiful. Consider practicing with both types of threads to see where they might be best suited for your work. You'll also need the iconic embroidery hoop. The embroidery hoop is actually 2 different pieces. There's an interior ring that goes on the bottom, and you lay your fabric on top, and then there's the outer ring that has a hinge with a screw at the top. So you lay down the interior ring, put your fabric on top, and put the exterior ring on top of that. So your fabric is sort of sandwiched in between the 2 rings. Once it's in there loosely, you're going to tug the fabric all the way around to make it a little more taut and tighten that ring. Another tug, and you should be good to go. Hoops come in all different shapes and sizes. You'll also need a scissors to snip those threads. And that's it. Remember to leave a comment below to share your favorite embroidery supplies. I'm really curious to hear. I hope you'll join me in the next video in this series. We're going to learn 2 simple stitches, the running stitch and the seed stitch. I'll give you ideas of how you can incorporate them into your work, and then you can try them out for yourself. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And you can also click subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time I post a new video. Thanks for watching.